Hello, and thank you for joining us for the game night. Tonight, we're diving into our continuing D&D adventure in the world of Drax Arcadia. Let's start with an introduction of our players and their characters.
Hello, this is going to be Ponzi Goldtooth, a gnome who's got a bit of I'd say, personality quirk, believing himself to be a little bit larger than what he actually is. Seeing as he's a gnome, that's not too hard to do. He's always looking for the next big scheme and the next big moneymaker.
I'm I'm Bacon, the filthy dragon, little dragon man. My buddy here, Ponzi. I'm his sidekick. Me and him, we're gonna rule this town.
To you and me, buddy, we're going to make those stars shine. This is going to be our big score.
I feel it. Feel it.
Excellent. Well, we're going to be starting just outside of the Nine Lives Casino. The daylight momentarily blinds you both as the bouncer shoves you out the front door onto the steps. And he just gives you this like dirty look, and this like the bouncer looks like a straight like out of like the 20s era casino. He's wearing like the all black suit. From his ear hangs an earring with a little charm on it with like a little silver cat's paw. And he's like, management has decided to go in a different direction. It's at this point you realize the job that you were going to try and pick up, the gig as a lounge singer here, is not going to be following through. You both descend the steps to the street.
Well, as he kind of punts us out too, Ponzi's going to out the car like, watch it there, buddy. You're going to be talking to your future boss one day.
And then I'd fall over and I'd be like, man, do you know who we are? Man, come on.
He don't know. He don't. He's gonna know.
He's
He
gonna
don't.
know. Yeah, you're right, buddy.
So you get to the streets level, and the streets of the entertainment district are always bustling at all times of day. Uh, right now is no exception. You see, Dragon's Mouth is a place where coin flows and wants are met, unless you have no coin, like the two of you. What do you do?
Gonna take a little look around the area, see if there's anybody that seems like they're making some deals that are paying more attention to the items than where they are.
This area you see a lot of. This would be where you see like cafes and taverns and bars and swanky jazz, bluesy places, things like that. In this general area, if you head out the road, it gets a little racier because you're getting into the red light district. But if you head down the road back towards the main street and head back towards town, or sorry, the entrance of town, you would get into like the more merchant style places that would be doing deals like that, unless you're trying to find somebody who's doing like an illicit deal.
Not really an illicit deal, but street performers as well. Anything like that.
Okay. Um, Make perception checks.
That is a 9.
10.
10. Okay. You're both short. One's a gnome, one's a kobold. So everybody else, you're like staring at chests. You know what I mean? You're looking at like torso level. But in between the crowd, no, you can definitely hear some like slow jazzy music that kind of cuts through the crowd. Um, and it's coming from a little like cafe looking thing.
Yeah. I'll turn to Ponzi and be like, Ponzi, you got your loot on you?
I sure do, Ponzi.
Well, let's go ahead and take a look. And let's head on over to where we hear some music.
You see this place has like almost like barber holes out front that are spinning, that are instead of red, white, and blue and that color, it's some sort of combination of that are black and purple. The mood light on the inside looks like it's done up in like a almost like a reddish purple, like a not quite violet, but like it really is like a reddish tint to it. But most of the tables in here are done up in like a nice black lacquered. Everything's real fancy, like a crushed purple velvet on the seats and the booths and things like that. And it's midday. There's not a whole lot of traffic in a place like this, but you can see playing some sort of horned instrument. There's a gentleman in like a open white, like kind of poofy shirt, like open up with just nice like pinstripe looking slacks and like suspenders.
Now, does it look like he's got a hat out that people are kind of tossing change into?
No, he's on the inside. It almost sounds like he's practicing.
Okay.
Because you'll realize that as you get in like closer. I don't know if you're going to go in or not, but this because what you would have been able to see was just from the getting up towards the door to the engine. But you can tell that he's starting up a few songs, like a song or whatever, and then like he'll stop, nod, or he'll shake his head, and then like he'll switch to something else. And it all sounds flowy and jazzy and sounds pretty cool, but he doesn't ever seem to finish a song.
Well, I guess I'd like look over at Ponzi. I'd be like, I think we should go inside. That guy's playing some nice jazz.
I think we are going to, because I think I got me an idea.
Oh, you always do, buddy.
It's very easy to miss the name placard of this place because it's like on the door frame, and it's done in the same black as the frame is. In the letters, like they're slightly raised beyond like the wooden frame. It says the LeBeau Lounge.
Oh, very nice. I might find some coin here. Now, when we go in, what do we see?
You walk in and like you see several tables that all kind of like crescent shape around like a stage, and then there are booths that line the other two walls that are off, like the one opposite the entrances and then one off to your left. There's a swanky looking bar up to the right. Right now, he looks like he's the only guy in here.
I'd like to walk up to him.
I'll follow.
All right, as you guys walk up, he finishes a little, like thing, and it's like, well, hello there. How can I help you?
Good day, good sir. I saw you practicing. And would you happen to know who the owner of this fine establishment might be?
Oh, I do. What you need him for?
Well, I have a little bit of an interesting proposition that may make us a bit of coin each.
And I know you like money. I can smell it off you.
Oh, everybody here in Dragon's Mouth loves money. That's why we're in Dragon's Mouth.
Ain't that the truth here?
Used to be in the adventuring days, people would go into dragons' lairs and they'd have to dodge a dragon's mouth to get some money. Now you actually go to a place that called Dragon's Mouth to get your money.
Yeah,
I think times are changing.
Yeah, but those are the good old days, man.
Old days, you would be in the dragon's mouth rather than here. However, I hear you seem to be tuning up, and you seem to be quite the magician.
I'm known
With a
to
few tunes.
make a tune dance a bit.
Well, I have a proposition for you here. My good buddy Dakin over here, he plays himself a fine musician as well. What would you say for a battle of the bards?
Well, let me see what you can do. You can play right here, or you can hop on that stage, whatever makes you feel comfortable.
I'll do it right here.
We're not going to have a whole lot of people interrupting us at the moment. My clientele doesn't get up until the sun starts to go down.
I think we can arrange just to prove to you that we're going to be worth your time.
Please.
All right.
What would you like to do?
Do I know what instrument that he's playing?
I believe you have a lute, a horn, and a drum.
Oh yeah, okay. Okay, I see it now. So I pull out the drum, and with my one hand I'll like smack the drum, and then with the other one I'll like pull a little like lute out, and I'll like blow into that, and then right at the end I lay the horn like right next to it, like next to me, and then at the end I go right into the horn.
Right. Little combination there. Give me a performance check.
9.
9? He goes, think you're trying too hard to impress. Why don't you try stepping back a minute? Pick one of those instruments and give me a little taste.
All right.
I don't need a full course meal. It's not even lunchtime.
I feel you. I'm full too. I know. I'll play the drum for you. I guess. Yeah.
Give me a little rapid tap.
Same thing.
Same thing. It actually comes off a little better because trying to juggle 3 instruments is harder, but you deliver a pretty good rendition of a little like almost like a beatnik style like tap 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 tap, you know, rat-a-tat thing, and he's like, oh, maybe try something else. What else you got?
Now, I will tell you, we are usually duo, so go ahead and pick up that loot.
And you pick up the lute, which is very much like almost like a little guitar.
And what I'd like to do is use a mage hand to assist with the strings on him.
Ah, give him advantage. I like it. So now this time roll again, and I'll have you roll a dice, but add his performance check to it.
A little bit subtly too, just kind of like my mage hand follows his movements as kind of an after image.
Oh, I rolled with the ones. It was 19
It
plus.
was 14.
It was 19 plus 4, so 23.
24. With the two of you, partners, you know, proving yourselves a little bit in this regard. He leans back and he's like, now that's something we can work with. All right. You're delivering something that almost sounds like a very Spanish guitar kind of thing, where you're playing the instrument, and then for a few times, like when you're strumming, you stop strumming and start slapping the side, like the front of the lute, to like give it almost like a drum beat kind of thing, while the mage hand continues to pluck at the strings. It's got a nice ring to it. I like that.
And it's almost like I'm playing with 2 hands there, buddy. 3 hands if you think about it.
That is a fact. I like where your head is at. However, it stops for a second. What brings you to Dragons?
Same thing as everybody does. Money.
Yeah, you said it before there, buddy.
This is a place to be for it.
All right. Come back tonight. We'll have ourselves a little battle of the bards and see how things go.
While we're doing that too, if I can do a quick glance around, see if I can make out a lay of the land inside the bar, see if I notice anything worth noticing.
This is more of like an investigation check, so give me one of those. Perception would be like a generalized thing. Investigation, you're like specifically looking for.
Gotta do one too, or
Sure.
Not 20 plus 4.
Ooh, that's good.
13.
13. Okay. You're looking for something different than him, so I'm gonna go with yours first. The nat 20, because it's a nat 20. You gotta honor the nat 20s. Non-skill checks. It's not it's auto success, but it's better.
Yeah.
You can tell like this. Now I'm gonna turn my phone off, right? So we don't do that again. And we have editors, so yay.
I do believe there was a Kazuma in the
Yeah,
book
Kazuma.
at the time. He used to be a very famous performer.
With that 24 investigation check, you, and especially being a nat 20, you notice that there's a lot of love put into this place. A lot of extra details, a lot of small touches done by somebody who gives a damn. This isn't just a place to churn and burn money or to see guests. Like, you can see like the craftsmanship of the stuff in this place is fantastic. There's etching, you know, in the mirror behind the bar. There, you know, like beautiful filigree. There's like extra detail work done into the woodwork for like the bar itself and all the tables and things like that. And it's like, you don't need that. You don't need any of that. But it subconsciously, if you were to walk in this place, you'd feel this place has class.
I was gonna say, and that kind of would lead me to believe that we're gonna have an upper end kind of audience to some of this. Not necessarily like nobility coming down, but upper class.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's a good one. Your check is more or less of the fact that you aren't looking for the same kind of things he's looking for. You're looking for, okay, that's the main entrance. We came through there. I can see there's a swinging door behind the bar that leads into a separate area that you can't get to from anywhere from except from behind the bar. There's another hallway that leads in deeper into the back, potentially to maybe a back exit or bathroom. You don't know, or something else. Um, but there's also a roped off, curtained stairwell, and you only notice it because the curtains just like open a little bit, and you see the beginning of the first 2 steps.
That sounds good. I believe we will take you up on that offer, and we will see you when the show begins.
All right. Oh, I did not introduce myself. My name is Mr. LeBeau. And he reaches out to shake you guys' hands.
At which point, we're gonna do kind of a slight performance thing where I'm gonna hop him up onto the shoulders, and we'll both do the handshake at the same time with him.
He'll put his hand over your guys' hands and do
Yep.
I think this is going to be quite entertaining.
Don't you know it?
It sure will be.
That's the whole thing. Ponzi and Dakin are gonna be known throughout this city.
You guys start to head towards the door. Both of you make perception checks. This is an auditory thing. This is to hear him say something.
10 and 12.
Oh, that's good enough. He's not trying to be like real quiet about it, but you hear him go, he goes, a kobold and a gnome, wonders never cease. Kobolds and gnomes are hereditary enemies. And the fact that you 2 guys are working together, he's just like,
We don't hear that.
No, you
We
do
kinda
hear
do.
that.
So like, I guess I'd turn around and I'd be like, we're just that good together.
Sometimes that's all it takes, mon ami.
That's why we make the duo.
Yeah, bonjour, whatever you guys say.
He leans in and goes, "Don't worry, that's why he's a kobold."
Oh, no, it's all right. I take no offense.
And I guess we'll head on out.
All right.
Step back out, and it's dark. Dark inside versus outside. Again, the daylight's just like blink, blink. Especially the poor kobolds, whose eyes are designed to be underground. And then he steps out in the sunlight. He's like,
Yeah, I say to Ponzi, I'm like, give me some glasses. Something to cover my eyes.
I believe we may have to find something for you here.
where do you head now?
What time would we have between the performance that's going on and now?
He said this evening, and it gets dark starting around 7-ish.
So we got a couple hours worth.
It's still midday. It's just afternoon, so let's say
Okay.
about 1-ish. So after all that in there, you left the Nine Lives casino or at noon, almost on the dot,
Yeah.
and like kind of meandered into here by the sound of this playing, and struck up a conversation, and
Yep.
that took about an hour with the performances and the
So we
back
got
and
like
forth.
6
and-
hours worth.
So you got some time, but you don't have any money.
So as far as that goes, the reason why I was asking is I don't want to wander too far away, but I do want to try and find a larger crowd. One where there's enough people where people of our stature would not necessarily be noticeable.
Gotcha. Okay. There are checkpoints, and you've seen these. And I think this would fit what you're kind of looking for. If you're in this part of town, as you get farther into the docks, you can go through these checkpoints from the merchant side to the docks, no problem. But to come back from the dock side into the merchant side, in deeper like into the city, requires a pass. There's a point where like lines form on both sides of these entrances, even though they don't check anybody leaving into the dock district for this pass. You still have to kind of walk single file through this portcullis,
Yeah.
while the other side of the portcullis coming the other direction, you have people getting checked and verified and things like that.
Alright, so with a decent enough crowd that's going on, I'm gonna turn to Dakin and be like, Dakin, I'm gonna need you to do a little bit of a performance and make it loud.
All right, let's do it.
How do you do that?
So, I guess I'll pull out the guitar and I will try to strum it as hard as I can.
Okay. Would you like to use one of your spells into this? You could use like one of your cantrips to do sonic to like kind of make it.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. I was gonna do like Draconic Cry as like a joke, but like that wouldn't have worked anyway. But yeah, I could do the pers- spurgis.
Oh yeah, prestidigitation would help with that too.
Because the whole goal for me is to get everybody looking at him, and then still, since I still do have the mage hand with it, take a look and see if there's anything in anybody's pockets while they're not really looking.
Okay.
So you have a gnome kind of just bumping into people. Excuse me.
You hop up on a like a ledge that's leading like there's like a fence work around one of the buildings, possibly a cafe, possibly a business. You're not sure which, like if it's like a shop or whatnot, but there's a little fence, right? You hop up on that fence, you fire off your prestidigitation, which is like pyrotechnics to go off behind you.
Yeah, I was saying the
Give
sensor
me a
effect.
performance check to determine how captivating this
Like the
is.
fog goes around.
Yeah.
8.
8. Yeah, you like destruct the thing. The sparks go off, and there's a few people that look over in your direction, but like they quickly turn back to what they're doing. The sparks stop.
If that was the case too, I will go ahead and use a minor illusion cantrip to tell Dakin, go ahead, give it one more try, and the minor illusion is going to come where a dragon head is going to appear behind him to do a roar at the same time he goes to hit the chord one more time.
Okay. And now, if you do prestidigitation, at this point it'll shoot like fire out of like the nose, like that.
Yeah.
Give me another performance check. I'm gonna give you advantage on this one. So actually, you roll one of the dice, and I'll have you roll the other dice. And
Would I have like more of a chance if I pop because it says magic mark? Can I make like a symbol on the ground or something like that to get noticed more? Or
kind of like an underlighting?
yeah,
Yeah, you could do something like that if you wanted to, instead of doing the fire out of the.
sure, yeah, let's try it out.
See, kind of creating a spotlight on you.
17 here.
You said advantage.
So
Well, no, advantage was his.
So just what you roll 2, and then we'll keep whoever has the higher roll.
Oh, okay. 17.
So, both 17.
Both 17s.
Ooh, that's something. You guys both the same. Okay, so that's really good. You begin to play, and it starts off like real slow and melodic, and then the dragon's head like forms up behind you, and it gets heavier and heavier, and becomes almost more like metal. It goes from like a bardic like sounding like, and it turns into a full like crazy like go with the dragon like roaring in the background when like a spotlight appears above you and just kind of shines down for a brief moment. Everybody kind of turns and looks now at this point, is like, oh wow, including the orcs who are like stopping, patting somebody down essentially, and like looking over and just putting their hand up like on that person while they're looking over. It's drawing everybody in the area's attention.
At which point, I'd like Ponzi to start kind of rummaging through the crowd and see if he can use Mage Hand to pickpocket a few things here.
Oh, absolutely. Give me a slight open check.
21, 17 plus 4.
I set the DC at 13, and you hit a 21, so you exceeded it by more than 5. So not only are you going to succeed, you're going to succeed multiple. Roll me 3d6.
6, 1, and 5.
Okay. You're able to acquire a small sack of gems off of somebody's pocket that have like they're a little small gems that have about 12 gold's worth of gems in them. That's a quick look. You're able to. It says after. You're able to take a look at it. And then, Logan, if you could roll me percentile.
Percentile.
And then after I kind of finished pickpocketing while he was still playing and kind of finishes up his song, Fonzie's gonna come up and be like, "That's right, folks. Come on down to what did you say the name of the bar was?
Le Beau Lounge.
Come on down to Le Beau Lounge for tonight. We have a special performance with my buddy Dakin over here. We're gonna have a battle of the bards."
70.
70, and then a D10 on top of that. Yeah. You hear from the crowd a bunch of clapping, like, yeah, all right, well, maybe, you know, that kind of thing.
Oh, this is not D10. Okay. Crap. Sorry.
I'm really hoping you roll a 5 or better on that dice.
I'll just roll it with this.
Go D&D Beyond.
I know.
When in doubt, click D&D Beyond buttons.
71.
71, okay. You're able to, like I said, get that little pouch of gemstones. And these are like little pieces of like lapis lazuli and jade and little pieces of like expensive stones and gemstones. You're like,
Everybody
okay.
starts somewhere.
Yeah, it's like 12 gold worth though, so it's not bad.
Yeah.
And you're able to fish out of somebody's pocket their card, their pass to get back in. Interesting thing about this pass, when you have a chance to get away from the crowd and you guys go over the loot that you're able to get. You also got another pouch, but it was just it was full of like towels or napkins or something. Like this was somebody's like
Laundry bag.
like it was a little pouch, like a little coin pouch, like a little, you know, like 90s style
Yeah.
X-Men pouch on their side
and
or
it
whatever.
ended up being
But it was just full of like they're not even
handkerchiefs.
dirty. It was just like a pocket tissue thing,
Yeah.
you know,
Like I could just imagine his face, like
they weren't dirty or used. It was just little strips of cloth. It was like, huh?
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead
But-
and put that on the belt too,
Yeah.
and
But
we'll figure out what that is later.
the card doesn't say merchant. It says Blue Industries on the back.
Oh, very nice. I think we may have found a nice little item somewhere in there. That was a great performance, by the way.
oh, thank you, buddy. I always do. No, thanks to thanks to you though. 'cause
Like I said, that's why we are a team, and that's why this is going to be the best place. We are going to make it big, straight to the top of the city, buddy.
it's not-
Do you guys stay on this area or do you go towards the docks?
Let's go ahead and go towards the docks, and along the way, we'll see if there's any small little snack shop we can trade in for, just as kind of a nice little treat. Since we did such a good performance there, we'll find something to either get ourselves a drink or a little snack along the way.
Excuse me. You head through one of these guard checkpoints, and as you're in that side of it, you can see there's a little bit of like not a commotion, but you can definitely see like somebody in the crowd like bumps like, "Hey, watch it!" And then like another person's like, "Hey!" And you see a kid with their head down in like a black hoodie just bolting through the crowd and away from the if like where you guys have been on like the left side of the curve, they're coming around from the right side.
Oh, okay. I guess I'll be like Ponzi. You think? Think we should follow?
Like the window to interact with this kid is like it just shut. Like he bolted. He's not near you guys. He's like across the street.
Yeah.
He saw these people and he like ducked into where you guys came out of this one. He's going up to another entrance to
Oh.
get deeper into
I
town.
wasn't sure if we were able to follow him or not.
You could try.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Do we see anybody that's pursuing him at the moment?
Hmm.
Yeah, let's go ahead and follow this guy. There may be something in it for us.
You guys kind of detour and start heading in that direction. At which point you do notice people. Well, this kid like knocked people out of the way. So people are like, "Oh, excuse me, miss. Oh, sorry, pardon me." As this, uh, the best way to describe it is she looks like dark, long dark hair, very swishes as she moves, decked out in like form-fitting like black leather armor. Uh, doesn't have ears, has cat ears, and is a tail that like swishes behind her. Um, and she is walking from the same direction that this kid ran from, like just casually walking.
So we notice her?
You see her. She doesn't seem like she's paying much attention to you guys or anybody else really. She just kind of, as she's moving, people are getting out of her way without.
Is she heading in the same direction as the kid?
All right. So is there a way that like as I'm following the kid, guy like know where she's at or have a feeling
Definitely.
of where she's at?
At this point, it's you don't have a visual on the kid because of the crowd, but you can definitely see her. But you know he's headed up towards this checkpoint. And the direction he was running, there's only like so many places you could go. So he's definitely going for one of these like guard checkpoints. But like in the crowd, it's tough to see him. He's short. He's not. You
Like,
guys short.
us short,
But he's
shorter.
yeah.
But yeah.
I would say we would leisurely, at a good distance behind her, just to keep an eye on her, right at the edge of the crowd as it's kind of coming back in. We're at the tail end of her.
Okay. At this point, I do need you to make perception checks.
Ooh, that's a 4.
4? What was yours?
Nat 1.
Nat 1. Beautiful. Okay.
Oh,
So you see her stop, put her hand on her hip, and like cover her eyes and look up towards the sun. Like she's looking at something. And you guys both instinctually like look up to where she's looking and go, ah. And when you blink the sun out of your eyes, she's not standing there anymore. And nobody in the crowd seems to notice that she's not there.
Would I be able to like feel like know why she would disappear or
You guys are gifted in the art of misdirection.
yeah. Now, how good of a look did I get on her?
Oh, solid. She wasn't trying to hide who she looked like.
At that point, too, I'd like to slightly duck back into the crowd, and I'm going to use disguise self, and I'm going to look exactly like her.
Okay.
So the way Ponzi's going to end up doing this is with his wide brim hat, he pulls it down, it hits the ground. When it comes back up, he looks just like her, and he's going to continue to walk exactly as she was walking towards this checkpoint.
Okay.
And he's going to motion
give me a
for
deception check with advantage.
Yeah, he's going to motion for Dakin to follow. That is a nat 20 on that one.
Oh heck yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You head up to that checkpoint, and with that, I would actually give you guys another perception check to see if you can see the kid.
10.
10.
8.
You don't see him in line at the checkpoint, but through the checkpoint, there's a brief moment where you do this. It's almost like this person did this so that people around them wouldn't notice this. But if somebody was like looking through that checkpoint specifically in this general area, you see a individual looks elven, has a hood up, and around like the edges of their jawline looks like scales. Along the edges of their brow looks like scales, and they're aligning their ear looks like little scales. And the whole face is done like you can see the skin is like a light purple, almost like a violet, like a light faded out violet, and the scales themselves almost look like an amethyst color.
At which point,
What
since I saw it,
what draws your attention not only is this face, but the fact that for a brief moment one of his eyes flared bright purple.
At which point, I'm going to kind of mimic her looking up and then kind of motion for Dakin to get a little bit closer to this guy so he can see if he can get a better look at him.
Well, he's on the other side of the checkpoint.
Mhm.
As you get to the checkpoint, the guy, the orc's like, "Sorry, ma'am, but you know I have to check."
Of course you do. And at which point, while he's kind of talking with me,
Mhm.
is it just him?
There's two. There's one that's kind of watching the people coming in, and then there's this guy who's checking the people's cards coming out.
Yeah. So, uh, what I would like to do is if I have the attention of one, I'd like to try and maneuver to get the attention of both real quick, and see if I can get that while I can sneak Dakin
Okay, try to slip him
kind of
through.
through since I have the card.
How would you try to do that? I understand like what you're
Yeah.
trying to pull. Like, give me an idea of like the mechanism that you're using here.
What he's going to be looking to do is kind of call attention to, is it always the fact that you are not paying attention to the rest of the line? Someone can easily slip by, and I would like to point over so that he's looking at the same direction as the person who's checking. And as soon as he kind of turns to look at that person that I'm pointing to, Dakin
Slipping
slips
Dakin
by.
behind him.
Yeah, now
I drop the disguise and slide in before he turns around.
Okay. This would just be stealth checks. This is essentially a skill challenge.
Yeah.
Normally, there's more people involved in a skill challenge. So, the first is going to be from you a deception check.
14.
14.
And then
Succeeds.
+2. Yep.
Stealth check from you.
23.
23. You zip right through there. Look, you split your tiny little koboldness.
Do I don't have disguise self, right? I can't do that, or can I do that?
You could.
I could.
Now's not a really good time to switch.
Oh, I
So
wasn't
different-
sure if I was
yeah.
able to like sneak past and then like turn into like
Definitely,
one of the orcs.
that'll be. We can kick that on. What do you want to try and transform into?
I was gonna turn into one of the orcs, so
Okay.
it just looked like I was
Okay.
like one of them.
Awesome. So you're gonna dash through, then you're gonna drop the disguise, and now I need a stealth check from you to squeeze through.
21.
21. You zip around. He turns back to look where you were. As you cast the spell and become very look like going on to the orcish guards.
Mm.
Are you gonna about face and turn like you're headed back this way, or are you gonna continue to move through the crowd with like a guard?
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn towards them as he goes behind me that way,
Okay.
to where I'll be like, "What are you guys doing? There's more stuff over here," or I'll try to like get
And
them.
what I'd like you to do is kind of fake catch me, like in a way where you're like, hey, you're not supposed to be here.
Oh, okay.
And you're going to be escorting me away from the
Oh.
checkpoint.
I'll be like, "I got you, sir."
Okay.
Go this.
Give me a deception check.
Or are you still the cat lady? So
No, I dropped, so I'm
Yeah,
looking
yeah.
like a gnome.
Ah,
and
So,
you're the
so I
orc.
need a deception check from you there, Logan.
all right. That's good. I got something. Deception?
Yeah.
9.
9. Okay. You turn around, try and put on a good front. And you're like, "What are you guys doing? This guy just slipped through," and you got him by the thing. And they both look like the guy turns back and looks. She's not there. He's confused, and he's like, "Well, she did say, see that guy's slipping through. Roll me a d20 and add his deception check because you have advantage."
That is a 9.
Plus whatever your deceptions.
I roll again.
No, whatever their base is, whatever the total is.
For
Oh, whatever
deception.
the total is. It was +4. So
So 13, a little bit more believable. He goes, "Huh. Yeah. Take him.
Yeah,
Take him in.
yeah, I'll escort this guy back to
Oh.
where he's got to go. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. That place.
he just looks confused. Like
Yeah.
he can tell nothing like is wrong, but he feels like something happened, and he doesn't know what's going on.
I feel like I'd be like, it looks like you've seen a ghost or something. You all right, buddy?
You just take that guy in for questioning.
That's what I thought.
He turns back to the next person in line, snatches the pass out of their hands. Ugh. He's looking at this lacquered piece of parchment that's like nice and it's.
Is it too far for me to ask if I could do a sleight of hand on the orcs, or is that too risky?
Ooh, you gonna try? What are you trying to grab a little something out of their pouch?
Yeah, I mean maybe I have something in there. I don't know.
Okay.
Stopping by the guard station, see if he can pick up a.
15.
15. Yeah, when that guy turns around, you pat him on the back and like let the hand slide down really quick, and you are able to grab something off of his back. You're not sure what it is yet. You got to take a look at that when it's safer to do so. But yeah, you get back into this one. You don't see the guy with the purple eye for it now, and you don't see the guy in the black hoodie. But as you come down the street and you see this side street, across down the side street where that intersection, literally a path you just were on, headed the other direction, headed in back down into the docks. You see the cat lady and a kid in a black hoodie, a kid in a white hoodie, and this guy standing there talking.
About how far away are we?
You're about a block away at this point.
Okay. Would we be able to kind of, since he still looks like a guard, would it be noticeable if he was walking me past them so we could see what they were talking about?
Yeah, like maybe try to overhear.
Yeah, it'll be they're kind of starting to do a walk and talk as the cat lady and the two kids start headed like literally in your direction, and you guys get a nice shot of it as the guy with the purplish hue to his elven features.
Yeah.
As they turn away from him, he pulls a Batman on them, and like literally like backflips up on top of one of the roofs.
That guy's an acrobat right there.
And you're like, you know, like
It's like,
cool. And then you're like, you see him do it. He lands on the roof, and you don't. He breaks your eye line of him because of like the roofing and the signage and stuff, and he's gone. You do not see him. That guy just straight up vanishes.
do we know
But
anything about
she
the-
swishes her way through the
Yeah.
crowd, headed straight in your direction.
Oh yeah, I got
Yeah, we're gonna still continue to kind of walk by them
Yeah.
and see if there's any reaction from her to us.
Make an insight check, both of you.
13.
17.
Doesn't seem to pay much attention. She's like casually every once in a while turning over her side. It's just the one thing you do catch as they're passing you, and I'll give you a few little details too on this. As they're passing, she says, "It's good to have you back." You can report in and tell us all about it when you get back.
Now, do we identify any markings that would distinguish them between one cartel versus the other?
Yes. But before I get into that, the kid with the black hoodie, you get a glimpse of like his face a little bit underneath the hoodie. Definitely a drow.
Okay.
And the shorter kid in the white hoodie, you can tell it's a female because it's also a gnome. So, and they're like walking along. On the pauldron of the woman, you see it looks like a palm, and it's red on her black armor, and there's a circle, and then a red circle a black ring around a red circle in the middle. So there's palm, black ring, red circle in the middle.
Now, with the female gnome, How crowded is it around here?
Not.
Okay.
The side street doesn't have a lot of people on it.
So, and we're about how far away from them?
You would have been passing each other on the streets, as they're based on the left side of the street, and you guys are on the right, coming.
Okay. So just after we pass them, I'd like to get her attention or kind of come up with the attempt to be suave about it and approach her and be like, "Excuse me, miss. Name's Ponzi Goldtooth. Perhaps you've heard of me with Ponzi and Dakin."
Interesting thing happens as you start to like maneuver around to like go and talk to them. There is another individual decked out in black leather armor like she is.
Mhm.
This is a male version of this cat people, and he steps out of nothing. He appears like he just stepped out of the shadow that you're casting, and he goes, "What business do you have?"
Well, I saw this fine, lovely little lady right here, and perhaps you heard of me. My name's Ponzi Goldtooth of Ponzi and Dakin, and I would like to invite that very lovely lady to come see our performance tonight.
Where?
It'll be just down at the bar, at the Le Beau.
I'll let her know.
I'd appreciate that kindly, good sir. And perhaps give her one of these. And I would like to see if there's any shop where I could, like, mage hand a flower for her.
You know what? Yeah. You see there's definitely like a couple of like stalls here off to the side, little temporary, selling different plants, different spices, and a couple of different like the wildflowers of the area.
Yeah, I'd like to
And they
grab.
have like looks almost like a white lily.
Yep, I'd like to grab one of those and with mage hand kind of do like the pulls it up, mage hand has it, and tell her it is from Ponzi.
Well, I feel like, I guess as he's walking up, I'll go around like a corner and I'll just like shift right back into like Dakin as I walk back up to him.
Okay.
And I go like, well, you're all invited too. It's not just her. But you all could come if you want.
Appreciate the invite. Can I give you some advice? It's not wise to approach a member of the Council of the Cartels without them inviting you.
Well, I think you can agree a handsome gnome like myself wouldn't be able to resist taking a hello, good day to someone as lovely as that.
I'll pass along your invitation.
At which point he's gonna take a gnome bow and kind of saunter on his way.
You know, I feel like Dakin's a little less experienced than
You
he is.
you
so I'm
actually
over here, like,
see
sweating.
like his hand come around a little bit that you didn't see before, and you see this black shadowy blade that he had in his hand just disapparate. Have yourselves a fine day.
You too, good sir. Hope to see you this evening.
Yeah.
And you watch as he literally, like, he's standing on your shadow in the way like the sun is going, and he just drops down into it, like he disappears.
At which point he's gonna turn to Dak and be like, I think I've made myself a good impression. We are on a fine start for today.
I think so, man. I think so.
Got a little bit of coin in our purse, and we've already started networking with one of the top ends of the cartel. I told you, man, we are going straight to the top.
Yeah, whatever you say, man. Yeah.
The twitchy kobold. Right?
Yeah,
Oh.
he's sitting there just doing it.
All right. At this point, with the meandering and the going through, it's getting closer to 3.
Okay.
You notice the time just changed a bit because your shadow is now being cast not from the 12 o'clock, but hold on, and we pause. Okay, back in. Well, starting to get the rumble and the tumble.
And you said
I'm
we're
getting
in
a little
the,
hungry.
Yeah, that's
Hungry
where it's
noises,
like
yeah.
as we're going through, we're looking for kind of like I'd say more like a cafe that we can just kind of stop by and get something to eat since we got a little bit of coin in our pocket. What you in the mood for there, Dakin?
Anything at this point, man.
I would say since we only got the 12 gold and we're just starting off, we're not going to look for anything high end. Just kind of like not low end, middle of the line.
You know they have uh, vendor stands, and you go into like closer to the docks, and because you had to come up from the docks when from
Yeah.
the jump train station. But you know, there's taverns, a place you can grab some stew or something. They have a lot of. This place is known for chowders.
Yeah.
It's a lot of. There's several fishing villages in the area that you can get stuff from.
Well, I do believe this area is known for its chowder. Let's go find ourselves a tavern and get a nice little taste of one.
All right, sounds good to me.
Um, you roll me a percentile to see which one you stumble across.
51.
Okay. Uh, you don't have to go through one of the checkpoints. You can stay in this side of the town. It is closer towards the righter edge where you get into the cheaper side of things. But there's a place that says it has fried fish and potatoes, and it's like a fish and chips place.
Yeah.
But it also has try some of our authentic Twin Oaks chowder.
That looks real good right there. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what we find in there, Dakin.
Um, this place is called the Burnt Barnacle.
That doesn't sound bad.
No, you walk in and the smell of malt vinegar fills your nose immediately, as it is being used liberally by the people who are eating these greasy, steamy hot things, the like golden planks of deliciousness. The aromas, it's just like with like um, potato wedges with
Yeah.
like some sort of seasoning on them.
Little fast food section
yeah.
kind of deal.
Uh,
Now, is it kind of
and
like a bar
you
style
and
or?
you see behind it's like you come up, you order, and then like the order gets handed out to you from like a farther on down the line. Um, but you see there's only one guy working behind the counter, and his hair looks like it's made of fire. He has got like a reddish hue to his skin with a little bit of like black singed look to it, like almost like for in the contours. And his eyes have almost like a little spark of flame within them instead of pupils.
Now, does it look like anybody has anything similar to like cigarette packs or a cigar kind of deal around in this area?
Oh, definitely. You would find it's like roll your own kind of at this point.
Yeah.
There's no like maybe there is, but like not right here.
Well, no, I mean like as far as
And,
I
like
could,
pipes and things like that.
yeah,
too.
like anything that I could lift off somebody real quick, like cigar style kind of deal, like
Yeah.
do a quick pickpocket on him.
I won't even make you check for that.
Yeah.
They're so distracted eating.
Well, and what he's gonna do is he's gonna have that. He's gonna come up to the guy with the hair on fire, and he's gonna like, "Pardon me, sir. Got a light?"
Oh, absolutely. And he reaches over and just taps the end of the cigarette with his finger, and it starts.
Now he's not gonna smoke it, but he's kind of got it in his mouth right now, just 'cause he thinks it makes him look gangster,
Yeah.
and it makes it. He feels like the smoke is making him a little bit more suave,
Okay.
and he's kind of just leaning in. Now, are we kind of as high as the counter, or just kind of below it?
You would be like your top of your head would be just under the counter.
And at which point, like, and he's gonna kind of,
Yeah.
we're gonna do the boost up kind of thing,
Do the totem pole.
so that he can kind of lean in on there and be like, me and my friend here heard that this has a famous chowder that we'd like to sample.
Oh, absolutely. He looks down over the counter for two.
For two.
Oh, okay. It's a silver a bowl.
And we're gonna go ahead and pull out the coin pouch that we lifted and go ahead and pay for that out of there.
He's like, gems. He takes them and goes, make change gems. Here, and he hands you back like 7 silver. He's like, I'm not sure if this is right, but here's another one. He hands you 8 silver back.
Excellent. I appreciate that. And glad to make change. We're new here in town.
So you would knock off a gold. And,
Yeah.
Is there a way I could get him to give us more? Try to like get him to think that.
Oh,
he
sure,
could
if you
give us
like.
more?
It'd be either a persuasion or a deception.
At which point, too, when he goes to talk, we'd kind of switch places, and I'd hop down, he'd hop up.
Okay.
All right, I'll do deception. I guess what I'll say is I'll be like, I don't know, man. I know in line my time, and I'm pretty sure it's a little bit more than that.
Roll me a deception.
16.
Um, he goes, I think I gave you the right amount, but I've got this extra order of fries. And he pulls out the potato wedges that he's got off the side that got canceled. You guys can have these.
Yeah, I'll get that.
Yeah, yep.
I just grab it and I just.
He goes big eye. He goes like, okay, you like it. All right, good. You just give me a second to get your order. And he goes, turns around, and he gets this like black stonework bowl. And as he's ladling the stuff in, you can see like the stuff is already like steamy, but like, just from him holding it, you watch it start to bubble.
Oh.
He's like, hold on. He's like, don't touch that yet. And he grabs another one, does the same thing. There's utensils over there to the side. Return them with the bowl next to the garbage station when you're done. Please enjoy. Thanks for trying out the burnt barnacle.
Is there like a stool next to us, or?
Oh yeah, there would be like bar seats all.
Because I
along
was thinking, I was like, we could be stacked on top of each other on the stool to try to make ourselves look more
Yeah,
menacing.
even bigger.
Yeah, yeah. We would go ahead and do that.
T-posing as you eat. Mage handing the food.
Yeah, I was gonna say we can do that. So he's up there, and it's a double T pose.
We are one.
As you said, together we are tall.
No, you guys, it's good chowder. You can tell that like you've had fresh chowder before from other places, and it was like you could tell that it was fresh. This does, while it is good, does taste like it had been frozen at some point.
Very,
And if
very
it's
interesting.
actually from the Twin Oaks, that's a port town that's a few days of travel from here.
Oh, okay. So now, while we're in there, do we hear anything like any eavesdropping that is available?
Ooh, make me perception checks.
Nat 20.
17.
Ooh. You hear about people talking about I can't believe they're raising the tariffs on some of these products, and like you're like, all right, ignore that. And you switch to like, oh yeah, this and this. Did you hear about what happened in the stacks? Oh yeah, that was crazy. I can't believe that Mr. Blue actually bought out all the seats in the nobles section. They're like, okay,
I was gonna say,
sounds
make a
crazy.
note of
Yeah.
Mr. Blue.
Yeah, it's like, all right, that's crazy. And it's like, yeah, he's the boss of Blue Industries really does have deep pockets. Like, oh, okay.
At which point, after hearing that, I'm gonna double check the pass that I have.
It does indeed say Blue Industries.
Like,
And this isn't like a visual ID. It doesn't have somebody's picture on it. It's got on one side it says Blue Industries and their logo, which looks like the Lockheed Martin or like the Stark Industries logo, but it says Blue Industries across the thing. But then you flip it over, it's got some symbols on the back of it that don't really make sense. Like it's not like arcane stuff. It's not like whatever. It probably has something to do with whoever issues these passes.
Yeah. Now, at that point, too, I'd like to see if I can get the attention of the barkeep. And after we finish and kind of bring back the utensils and everything for him, like, it was a fine chowder, good sir. Now, I do have a question for you, being that we are new in this town. Have you ever heard of Blue Industries?
Yeah.
Would you be able to point us in the direction of where they are?
Oh, sure. You head back to the main road, and you cut back up towards the entrance, and there's going to be a tunnel that you go through that will take you from the inside of the city to the outside. Cutting across that tunnel, there's the two custom points, one for the imports, one for the exports. And if you head on the export side, down that tunnel, back to the entrance, to what used to be the old mines.
I appreciate that information, good sir.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
and he's going to kind of slide him a silver as kind of like the tip,
Oh,
kind
thanks.
of as a return.
Appreciate that.
Can I grab it back?
You want to try and snatch
So,
off the tip?
at that point, he's fucking no.
Okay, yeah, he'll take it and he'll open up the register, toss it in.
And you will be seeing us again.
Nice.
And so we're going to kind of hop down from our T-pose.
Wait,
There
would
you
I
go.
have seen something different? Because I got that nat 20. So.
Now your nat 20, while he's talking to him, and while you don't grab the coin because you're distracted, is that you see a guy come in and goes, "Did you see that?" And he like points up, and you guys at this point would hop off and like run out to the door, along with several other people who are watching, as a gnomish like frame is flying through the sky from one of the higher levels. Looks like the second level, across the sky and headed straight towards the docks. This looks like a battle suit. It's old. You can tell it's like it's not the more modern, sleek looking versions of it. It's old and clanky. It's got flat edges and visible rivets, and it's like a awful like like off green, almost like olive green color with flaky paint, with an open canopy. It's the it's Magitech suit like from like Final Fantasy basically what it looks like, and it's just like flying across the sky using his thrusters. Yeah.
Well, good buddy, looks like you have found us something interesting to go take a look at.
At this point,
That's
it
right.
is already past like where you guys are at, and is like getting closer to the actual docks district. And then flying through the sky is a man clad in white armor with a reflective, seems like it's chrome, but like as the light catches, you can tell it's black. A black reflective, opaque faceplate, the number 12 on it. And he's flying like he's free falling, but like straight in a straight line, just when he's catching up to it.
I think we should go pursue that.
Yeah, I'm running over to the docks. Just slow them to.
Now, as we're going, though, I will keep an eye out. Are we going to pass the section where they said Blue Industries following this thing?
You're actually moving away from it.
Okay.
You would have to go like they're leaving they're coming from that direction of the upper levels and back, and you're heading away and into the docks to follow this.
Do you want to go follow them, or do you want to go talk to some Blue Industries guys?
You know,
Which would you say is the more money-fied opportunity?
Mr. Blue sounds like he's got a lot in his pockets, so I'd follow him.
Because the goal for going to Blue Industries would be, I would like to kind of speak to somebody that is in their security section, to kind of get their attention.
Okay. Yeah. And you watch as this guy's gaining on him, and you kind of, with the buildings and the way things are, you lose sight of two of them as the suit starts to descend, and he does as well.
Okay.
It's not every day, it's just someone flying through the air. I mean, ever since the Shattering, magic's been kind of wonky, and high-level magic and stuff like that's rare to see. You see it in the Wizard City of Frostfire, and you see it like the divine, over in the Ivory Tower area. But this is something.
That was something else.
That was something else. This guy was flying like he could just fly.
Yeah.
No wings required.
Yeah.
Would I kind of roll something to like wonder like what happened or see where it could have came from? You said it was from the higher level.
You give me a perception to kind of track like maybe like where it came up from.
14.
14. Definitely came from the Lord's Ledge area of the second level. You're not sure if it came from like which estate that's up there, or which mansion that's all ritzy, fancy. That's where like some of the cartel lives. That's where some of like the merchant nobles live. That kind of thing. So
Now, would that mech be closer to us than going to the Blue Industries? For where it was headed?
honestly, at this point, it's about even. And it might actually be it might be closer to go to Blue Industries actually, just where you're at, because you just had to hit the main road and cut back, versus this one you had to hit down into the docks and figure out where they went.
Yeah.
Yeah, paying past it.
So, yeah, I think we'll go ahead and head over after having our meal to the Blue Industries section.
You head over that way. Take the main road, cut back up, and sure enough, you do see a big tunnel entrance that's a couple stories tall. Think like old school, like train station style, like big entrance. Uh, to the left of it is a ramp that looks like it goes up and winds up to the second level, and there is a white dragon with an orc on its back with a long lance that is just watching people as they go up the ramp.
And it looks like he's security for this
Looks
industry.
for that ramp. No, for that ramp.
Oh, for the ramp.
That's going up into the nobles area.
Yeah.
You're going down into the tunnel, and as you go into there, there's looks. It doesn't look like magical stuff. It does look like there's some sort of like lighting that doesn't. You've never seen this kind of thing before. It looks like crystals that just glow.
Okay.
And you've seen magic stuff, and like, but this looks more akin to what you saw when you were in New Eberron.
Okay, yeah.
This looks like technology.
Tech stuff.
And off to the left, you see a bunch of wagons and carts and cars and things like that. Because there are like steampunk, diesel punk looking vehicles that are like hauling things in, and like one of them is like pouring black smoke out of it, but it's got like sleds on the front and like tank treads in the back, and like. But then you also see like horse and carriages and oxes and things like that, and the standard stuff. Like the world still has a root in like that fantasy level, like medieval stuff, but technology has been like dumped into this world so heavily over the last 20 years that it's like, oh yeah. But no.
I feel like, maybe we should do like what we did before, where I'll like shift back to the orc, and then I'll like try to act like you're like, I'm here to like bring you to Mr. Blue.
Well, this one, like I said, I want to get the attention for the security guards, mostly because I want to kind of speak with them about what we may have uncovered an opportunity for both Ponzi and Dokken and Blue Industries.
As you are coming up that tunnel, you hear a loud clanking, scraping noise as the guy in the white armor is over his shoulder, is carrying the mech and holding a gnome as he kind of like drifts along the ground, like about like just a few inches off the ground, and flies like quickly past you and down the thing, and then he like lands and just starts like dragging it and clanking.
So, are we kind of in the way for him, or
No, not really. He's like a lot of like this is a big tunnel. Like this is like two trains could pass on this tunnel and nobody's gonna hit each other. But like he comes flying in, like lands and kind of like starts like dragging this mech thing that's all beat to crap and sparking, and an unconscious little pilot.
at which
Which you can
point,
tell is a gnome.
yeah, I was gonna say, at which point I am gonna see him doing that, and as we kind of get closer to him, I want to kind of wave him to, good sir, good sir.
Um, as he's going, you can see like there's this woman who walks up, like and you guys kind of like stick to the wall, and there's several doors that are like heavy iron wrought doors with like metal bandings and stuff that you can tell lead into like the fortifications of the walls and stuff, and they look like they're locked.
Yeah.
But then there's also much larger ones that look like they're probably for dragons to come and go from the fortifications. But you guys kind of tuck into this because you see this woman step up and start saying something to him, and he's just like, you don't see what he says, but continues walking, and she darts in front of him, and he literally just punches forward, and he's still like about 6 feet away from her, and she like rocks back and falls down without like the concussion wave from his punch just knocked her down, and he's just keeps going. She gets up and she's like her bell's been rung or whatever, and a little dragon thing pops its head out the side and starts talking to her, and she's just like, "Ugh," and in a daze she kind of just like stumbles past you and out into the tunnel.
Because what I would like to do,
and she's
is...
like, and you hear her say, no, I don't want to hear it, Aggie.
Oh, make a note of that one. Because what I'd like to do is, before he gets too far away and before she gets too far away, I want to get this guy's attention and be like, I do see you are lugging around something that does not appear to be operational. Would you happen to be selling that?
He stops for a brief second, turns around over, like turns over his head over his shoulder, to look at you. And again, it's you can't see a face. You
Yeah.
just see this. And then the way they're moving, you can. I say he because
But
it's you can't tell what gender
Yeah.
this person is. And with like a modulated voice that doesn't sound like natural, you hear it say like, "What do you want?"
I was looking to see if you could make an offer on that very large mech that is behind you.
This has recently become the property of Blue Industries.
Ah, excellent. I was just going to go talk to some of your people.
Hmm.
I believe we have found an opportunity for both you. I am Ponzi, and this is my good buddy Dakin right here. That Blue Industries and both of us may benefit from.
Make an appointment. And he starts to head towards what looks like a glass wall with like metal like framing, and you see several guards standing outside wearing blue steel breastplates over like blue jumpsuits, and they are equipped with guns.
Yep. At which point those guys.
And then you see like the doorway open like a double door, like, and but then it like you hear it go as it continues to recess to make room for him and the mech to come through.
Wait, can I say to him, like, to be like, but is there something we could do for you? Because we don't really got time for appointments, and I would really like that mech over there, buddy. There's something I can do for you.
Stop again. Turn it low. So did you see what I did to the last person that kept stopping me?
Yes, fine.
And he turns back and starts walking into the building.
We'll remember him. He's not a very nice guy. But
one of the guards comes like jogging up to you guys. Can I help you?
Excellent. Are you with Blue Industries?
He looks at the pauldron on his shoulder that has like the Blue Industries logo on the breastplate.
Are you the appointment man?
I'm not. I'm one of the guards that keeps people out.
Excellent.
If you don't know how to make appointments, you probably can't get an appointment.
But what if I was to tell you that I have something your boss would be interested in?
Okay.
And not to reveal all cards on the table, but you might be interested. You have a security leak.
I would need some proof of that.
At which point, Bonzi's gonna flash the badge and put it back.
He's gonna put out his hand.
I do believe you said you are not the one in charge.
No, that was him. It gestures towards the guy with the 12 on his forehead. That's now inside the building as the doors are.
So I do believe, wouldn't that warrant an appointment? If you could take us to the place where we could do so.
Yeah, and I would be like, well, that guy ain't the boss. I'm sure as heck ain't the boss, sir. Put the gun away. Okay.
No, he is the boss. He's head of security.
And we would like to inform him of the security leak that you do have.
Okay. I will notify him. Do you have a place where you can be contacted?
Yes, you good sir, will be invited to come see our Battle of the Bards to see Ponzi and Dakin down at Villa Beau.
Okay. Well, hand me the card. I'll let him know that you're there. I assure you he will be interested to find out where you got this.
And he'll go ahead, and I trust this will be in good faith.
Mm-hmm. He takes it and he puts it in a side pouch next to where one side has the gun, the other side has a bunch of pouches and stuff.
Yep. And at which point, now having done that, how far away has the lady that got her?
You don't see her. She was already headed towards the main tunnel to like kind of in a daze, like talking to her backpack.
Yeah. Not every day you see a weird lady walking down the street talking to a backpack, is it, Dakin?
Yeah. That lady was weird.
Also, too, guess she's not very bright. She walked in front of a guy and got like a mega air punch.
Yeah, and then he almost mega punched me. I ain't messing with that dude.
Well, I was gonna say, I think you're tough enough. You could have taken.
Whatever you say, man. Yeah, thank you for the picking
As you
up.
guys start going back and forth, the guard kind of smiles. He's like, "Listen, guys, just be careful. This place isn't for people who aren't dangerous. That's all I can really say.
Well, if you don't mind me, and pardon for this one, at which point uh, Ponzi's gonna kind of shuffle his feet over towards him, you'll find that I can be quite shocking. And he's gonna do shocking grasp, not really to
Yeah, just
just
the static spark
just a
kind of thing. Okay, yeah. Roll a hit. You have advantage. He's wearing metal armor.
17.
Yeah. Yeah. You and he's like, yep. Just be careful.
We will. We look forward to working with your boss.
He's gonna head back towards the front entrance.
Now, while we're doing that, is it just him who's there?
No, there's another guard that's up by the front.
And he's watching us?
Mhm.
Okay.
Before we
definitely.
walk away, can I ask him for his name?
Oh, sure.
So what's his name?
Oh, you turn and you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ask.
I'm sorry. I'm
And
sorry.
and you ask him. Lance.
It's like a lot.
No, every once in a while.
Yeah, and at which point Ponzi's gonna just come up and be like on his drum that he has.
Thank you, Padre.
And you see like the other guard kind of roll his eyes like he's heard this joke a few times.
Tough one to crack.
What's your name, good sir?
Guard.
God number one. All right.
We'll be here all night.
What you actually would hear with your passive perception scores, hear the guy named Guard, as far as you're concerned, telling others like, "Don't be so friendly with them. You're inviting trouble." He's like, they're just it's a kobold and a gnome. He's like, yeah, well, he just dragged a gnome in here, didn't he?
Now, would I notice anything about the gnome he was holding?
Wearing like a almost like a flight suit, and you couldn't tell, like you could tell they were old, but they had the goggles and the helmet on for flying that.
So
thing.
definitely experienced kind of tinkerer kind of deal. I think that's how it explains why they had that hunk of junk running. Shame he didn't sell it to us. Could add a little bit extra height for us.
One day. But for
Oopsies.
now.
Well,
For now, and I jump on his shoulders. For now, we will
do
be
the
one.
The T-pose as you make your way down the hall.
Yeah, and this is all in front of the guard, and then we just kind of turn and we're walking.
We're
down
just
the hall,
hopping.
doing the T-pose.
Just the
down.
T-pose walk.
I know you're intimidated over there. Fear us.
You get back to the main tunnel.
Got danger walking here.
And they say we ain't dangerous.
Get back to the main tunnel. And as you're heading back into town, you can see a couple of the orcs talking. The guards, obviously the white guard. And you're able, I'm assuming you're gonna meander close enough to try and pick up something, because I can bring it up. Is they talk about somebody stole a display piece from the gallery. We're gonna need to get that back from Blue Inn. He's like, yeah, somebody stole a display piece from the gallery, and the other one's like, what? And it's that old gnome suit from the pre-war era.
At which point, now is it gossip that it sounds like, or are they talking like?
It's almost like two like cops talking to each other about like what just happened somewhere else.
So at which point, as we're kind of walking by, Ponzi's going to turn to them and be like, pardon me, I do hear that you say there was a theft recently?
Well, hello, little person.
He's going to tip the hat.
I hop on him.
Can we help you?
Actually, can we help you? Sounds like I may have overheard that there was a incident that happened that you may need some off-the-books help with.
Well, we have to requisition the return of the item from Blue Industries. Their head of security thwarted the theft.
Excellent. I do believe we do have an appointment with him later today.
He looks skeptical.
Yeah, at which point he's going to say, I see you have not yet heard of us. My name is Ponzi, and this is Dakin here. And we invite you to come down to LeBeau tonight to see us perform.
Yeah, I'm a musician.
At which point he's still on top and he's doing the...
It's like I play a little bit of that
Make a
lute.
persuasion check, both of you.
Can I make persuasion and performance? Because I want to play a little bit of the lute.
One or the other. Take a pick.
12. And so that would be +2, so 14.
12.
Oh, great. Yeah, he's like. You said your name was
Ponzi, good sir.
Monty and your Dakin.
Not Dakin.
I'll remember you too.
Of course you will. You'll be seeing our names on billboards.
Yeah, I mean, you can never forget this face.
Look at that face.
It's
He's going to gesture up
just a
towards the
smiling
top.
dragon. It's like...
The kobold beak just.
Look at he looks all like good. He's like...
You got a little bit of a snarl going on.
You see again somebody else. The orc looks at you. Goes, be careful around here. This place isn't safe.
I've been
Sometimes.
been hearing that a lot lately. But we'll be alright.
Just smiles.
Yeah, and we'll kind of, again, still kind of T-posing away from these guys.
As you can see. Very odd.
T-pose away. Just
Yeah, we're just going down the street that way. Because about how long has passed? Because we should be probably heading back around
at this
time?
point, it's about 5.
Yeah, so we should be heading back.
I feel like as we're walking by, though, I see a couple strangers, and I'm like, yes, fear us!
He's just kind of holding on, keep walking back and forth.
And oh, you're welcome at the LeBeau tonight. I'm bought. And I wrote down like a little flyer, and I
Do you,
handed.
do you want to kill like another hour or so trying to drum up business?
Yeah, I would say, because, yeah, that's kind of been what we've been doing as going
So
around.
we'll do this kind of like a skill challenge. We're gonna have 4 skill checks. You need to succeed 3
Okay.
for this to be a boost. You can choose either performance, persuasion, or no, sorry, is that, yeah, that's the right one, right? Make sure I click the right thing. Yeah. Persuasion, deception, or give me a 4th one that you created with, but it has to be a different than the other ones.
You said performance,
Like,
persuasion.
give me
yeah.
like, I definitely definitely need performance and I definitely need persuasion, but the other 2 I'm really malleable on which ones you want to choose to pick.
I mean, performance and well, my performance and deception are +4, so like to your stuff or shit. I can. But you also want persuasion, so.
But I mean, like, persuasion is one of the options you could
Oh,
pick.
okay. I just gotta pick
Like,
one.
you guys get creative with that. Like, it could even be like a spellcraft, like a
Well, I
spell
was gonna say,
check. You know what I mean?
think
Like,
we would do more of like an acrobatics, just because again we've been kind of bouncing up and down with each other and lifting and doing flips and rolls with this. As we've been
Maybe
going.
like one of us does acrobatics, and then I'll do like performance. maybe
sweet.
I'll do-
So
Yeah.
give me the performance. You give me the acrobatics.
16.
18.
Beautiful. All right. And then, who wants to do the
You said
Persuasion.
persuasion and
Whatever
You
else.
said deception was the other one.
deception would be a good one, or if you're trying to like blow it up, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I would
uh,
say kind of make it a little bit larger of a thing.
and then persuasion would be like at the end of it. You know, like, so who wants to do what?
What do you got on for persuasion?
Persuasion, I have +2.
All right, so that's the same, and then same for deception. You got +2.
+4.
Okay, you're gonna do the deception one. I'll do the persuasion one.
Okay, go for it.
17.
17.
21.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, ooh, that one's gonna be a good one.
By the time you get to, by the time you actually get back to the LeBeau Lounge, there's already a crowd. There's standing room only now. there's all the tables have been taken, all the bars set, and they're ready for this battle of the bards. They've heard about this comedic. What you've heard like the crowd whispering. I'm like, yeah, did you see the comedic duo that they've got that's gonna do like a musical comedy against the smooth jazz renditions of Mr. LeBeau?
As they say, there's no such thing as bad publicity.
As I lean over to their table and I'm like, it's always good.
At this point, no, you come in and you see there's several tiefling female waitresses taking care of the place, and there looks to be like a best way to describe it. He looks like he's big, muscly dude behind the bar serving drinks, bald head, and at first you're like ogre because he's like gigantic, but then you're like oh, it's a Goliath.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, all right, yeah. But over a brief moment, you're like, no,
oh,
not an ogre. They eat gnomes.
Yeah.
They eat kobolds. No.
a little bit of a, oh no, they eat the small people.
But yeah, he's back there, and he's decked out in like the white button-up shirt with the bow tie, cummerbund, and he's like, you know, the black slacks, and he's shaking drinks or whatever, and similarly attired with the white shirts and the bow ties, all of the tiefling waitresses, and you know, but with a little like apron, like a little waist apron.
Yeah.
You see, already playing up at the stage is Mr. LeBeau.
Now, is there a way we can kind of get his attention without interrupting his performance, or is he noticing us coming up on the side of the stage?
As you get closer, you're doing reverse stealth essentially. You're drawing out to draw his attention, and without missing a beat, he nods at you guys, gestures for you to get to the stage.
Okay, we'll go ahead and get up there and kind of get set up, and we'll wait for him to finish.
Okay. Yeah, he finishes a soulful rendition of something like slow and very like mellow. So he's keeping like the people excited, but not to the point where they're like all like clapping and whatever. They're just kind of like enjoying it. It's very much a lounge atmosphere at the moment.
And so once he's finished with that, and so are we ready to start?
I'm ready when you guys are.
Excellent, excellent. So Ponzi's gonna walk out.
We all right, ladies and gentlemen. The main attraction is here. We are going to begin this battle of the bars, as they call it.
For tonight, you may be used to, in this fine establishment, a nice, relaxed, enjoyable manner. But tonight, you have none other than, and creating a minor illusion behind him, it says Ponzi and Dakin in sparkling lights. And what we're going to have here is a battle between the lively and the smooth.
So let's get right to it. As the challengers, they get first up at the mic.
And so
I just smoke goes around me. I cause the fire to go up, and I'm like, it's like, damn. And he's like,
and so, and as he's coming in, be like, and I believe we are starting. And so, casting Mage Hand will do a performance check to kind of start off with, as you said,
Sweet.
a little bit more of a fast pace.
All right, roll me those checks.
14.
And that would be 9.
9. Okay. Now you're like you started off with a very like and like, you know, like building up to it with like a little bit of like a almost like a punk rock sound to it. And he cuts in with a cross melody. He's busting out a trumpet.
And so with that, we'll go ahead and kind of fade back behind him as he kind of steps forward, and we'll kind of wait for him.
And you've only heard him play like smoothie, like low, like whatever, but this one's coming out with like a almost like with a poppy little, like the Saints Come Marching In kind of thing, with like that same kind of tempo and like bump, you know, kind of very New Orleans.
Yep. And so we'll give him a little bit of time, and we'll go ahead and I have I think that's a 19 plus 2, so 21. If you want to also chime in with that.
A performance?
Yeah.
Very 19.
Ooh.
And so as he kind of backs up, we then come forward with, what do you want to do? Kind of like more of a upbeat Irish.
Yeah, and then I like, I guess I'll grab my horn because he grabs his flute.
And you kind of toss the guitar up as I jump on top of your shoulders, and I continue with the guitar
Oh.
as you begin with the horn.
And I go, "Are you not entertained?" And I spray like.
Do your dragon call?
Yeah, as like, well, like you said, like I think you said like I had barely any fire in me, so it's just like barely anything. I'm just going.
Are you gonna do like the kind of
Use the prestidigitation to make it look like the fireworks are coming out of the mouth.
Oh yeah, that's true. I could
Yeah.
do like the kiss thing with the tongue hanging out the mouth?
Yeah, just like.
He switches to a violin. He swaps over to that, or viola, whatever it's called. And he starts to play that with like but he's doing like a quick, like almost like a ditty. He's switching styles from what you already heard it to more. This is more of like an Irish jig kind of thing going on. But as he does that, you can hear echoing behind him the sound of like almost like tap dancing. And there's like semi-ethereal dancers are like doing the river dance thing behind him. And,
That's almost like cheating.
That's a 9 for that one because I want to do kind of a follow up and lean into his song.
22.
nice.
At which point
Also with the horn still.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ponzi's gonna hop off and kind of, since it was a 9, he's kind of fading back as he kind of takes the lead on his horn with it.
All right. Now it's gone from like sounding like a song starting to play and then like a DJ mixes in another song kind of like thing that you hear like the crossing over, and rather than him try to cut over your song, he still with the violin goes along with the melody that you guys have laid down and switches into like an accompaniment. So as you're still going with the like the heavier like punk kind of thing, and you're doing like the ska sounding, horn, he comes in with that violin to do more of like the dubstep thing going on it, and to the point where like the dancers behind him shift into like a swirl of like multicolored like lights, almost like a lava lamp, like floating up behind all of you with that like going on. But as it does it, it's also kind of like taking the sounds that you're making and adding almost this weird like reverb to everything, so it's giving it this extra effect to it.
Would you say that the floor is kind of like a tiled floor?
Oh, definitely.
I'd like to kind of break away from the guitar and use a minor illusion in beat with what he's doing, and have a multicolored kind of section laid out on the dance floor to light up underneath everybody.
Oh, nice.
To try and get everybody into.
Oh yeah. With that, he's actually going to swap from the violin to a set of bongo drums.
Yeah.
And starts mixing up this beat that switches it from this. It goes from this ska punk thing that's going on into almost a disco ska mix of like where he's like tapping into the beat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And it's creating this, and then with the lighting that you've done, now that people are starting to get up and start dancing.
Yeah, because I want to get the crowd
like,
kind of moving.
Yeah, you're watching as the crowd, like, as this has gone, has been, at first we're like, oh, this is kind of crazy, and they're like, oh yeah, and now they're like banging the tables, and like people are like hopping up and dancing, and up closer to the stage, they're really getting into it.
Yeah, because at this point, I'm going to kind of signal to Dakin to kind of both have us doing the same kind of music, since everybody's now getting into it, and we're going to kind of move into doing more of a concert style where we're kind of both playing the same type of music to kind of get everybody, at which point Ponzi's going to come up and be like, that's right, everybody, I see people sitting down, let's get up, and the lights kind of flare as everything starts flashing through.
I feel like what I would do is I'll do like I'm pretty sure I could do like illusion of almost like making it to where like people feel like it's cold in there, but like they get like chills.
Okay,
from the cold.
like waves of cold that rock out based on like when you hit the power cords.
Yeah, so like to them they'll be like, man, this thing's giving me goosebumps, man.
Yes, he's.
Roll me a performance check with advantage on that one, and give me a persuasion check to like help amp the crowd.
Ooh, not 20.
Oh,
17 plus 2, 19.
Nice. He is going to like step forward and like kind of like at the front of the stage. There's a stool, and he's gonna kick the bottom of the stool, and like you see a deck of cards go flying into the air. And as he's playing, the drum, as he's tapping the thing, he lets go of the drum and it continues to play as he was already playing, and he pulls back out the violin and starts weaving, and as he does, you see from the violin like light, like a purplish light start weaving through the cards, and starts to make them like dance around him, like you're watching the deck of cards like fan out and like start doing like almost like they're energized and like swirling around him.
Now, from where I'm at, can I see the people, if there's people outside of the establishment too, or is it
Perception.
everybody inside?
This isn't very hard.
Yeah, 11.
Because you just gotta
$15.
basically have to like shield your eyes from the lights coming at
Yeah.
you for a second. Like, no, there's people, like more people coming in, and like there's people like looking through the windows and.
Because what I would like to do is, if Mr. LeBeau will somehow continue with the dance floor, I would like to announce, and I see you people outside, we have not forgotten you. And minor illusion, like a 10-foot square outside of the establishment, so everybody outside can also see what's happening on stage 2.
Kind of projected out there.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
So that I'm going to say, we have not forgotten about you. Just because you can't be in here does not mean that you will not be part of this crowd. And the projection is going to come up so everybody that's outside can see it as well.
Nice. He as you see he's been playing the same like rhythm over and over again with the violin, and he lets go of it as it continues to play in the air and float around him, as he pulls back out the trumpet and starts playing that again. And you see the cards continue to weave around him and around the others, and then they start to swirl, and they almost take on like a humanoid shape in the way they're rotating through the shape, like so like they keep like circling up and around, but like as they're doing it, they're staying in the form of like there's a hollow person surrounded by cards essentially.
Yeah.
And when he's playing the trumpet, and he's doing the accompaniment to what you guys are doing, he throws that up in the air, and it spins and stays, and he continues to play what he's doing, and he starts to dance with the card person.
At which point, I'm going to see that, and while Dawkins continuing his musical thing, kind of almost Grease style, coming up to LeBeau as like a dance challenge thing. And so with the performance check on that one, 14, he's going to come up and he's going to kind of do like a little bit of a breakdance move as he's snapping his fingers, walking up to the center stage, and he's going to do a breakdance move in front of LeBeau and then back up and wait.
Okay. Alright, he's got a +8, so that's a 17 from him.
Yep.
He's going to spin the card person away, and they watch as the cards like reform onto becoming a deck and go back on top of the stool. As he does that, and he turns and looks at you and starts doing the Saturday Night Fever, where he's just like rolling his arms and doing his points and stuff. He's going full Travolta on you.
Okay. I'm going to signal to Dak, and we're going to do like a. Is your acrobatics or performance higher?
Performance.
Okay. I'd like for him to do performance, and I'll do an acrobatics so that we can kind of tag team, and we can do since he's kind of doing the whole John Travolta thing coming in, I'd like us to do an acrobatics performance thing where we are tall together kind of deal. That is 19.
9.
Well, it's effective.
Oh no, it was 15. It was 15.
Oh,
so
even better.
19.
That's better.
Right.
Yeah, you can do the totem pole again.
Yeah, and as soon as we finish our little kind of acrobatic dance performance, we're like, and then boom, prestidigitation firework going off behind the T-pose.
All right. He's going to backflip and like land in a split. Let's see how effective this
I
is.
do believe he's showing off.
He sticks it. It doesn't look like it was comfortable.
Well, then I'll try to copy him, and I'll jump off of him, and I'll go into a split myself. So
Go for it. Be an acrobatics check.
Acrobatics. Dirty 19.
Dirty 19. Yours was much better. You stuck the landing. You're like, damn. And then like that, the music just stopped, and everybody's like. Alright. He stands up, he's clapping, the crowd's clapping, and he's like, "Okay, mon amis, who do you think won this battle? Was it our contestants? Our contestants?" And the
up the
crowd's
hat.
like it's like a roar of the crowd. And you guys, there's this moment that's happening right now that you guys have been in a lot of places, and you've been run out of a lot of places. You've legitimately stolen, conned, lied, cheated. And there's a lot of places you don't think you're going to be safe to go back to in your lifetime in this world. It's the first time you've been in Dragon's Mouth. This is the first day you've been here. And the first day you've been here, you have this moment of realization of, we might be home.
I told you, Dakin, this is gonna be it for us. This is gonna be where we
And it-
make it big.
And he's like, "Oh, what about me, a poor Mr. LaFleur?" And they're like, they're roaring, they're
Yeah, we're
clapping
still
and
going,
stuff, and you hear like the boo 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 from the bar where the Goliath's like slamming the thing, and he's like, "Oh no, you don't count. You work for me."
And
Oh,
Fonzie's gonna clap for
And
him.
he's like, "One more time for the contestants. It was real close." And it's like it was close. Like you could tell you guys were close, but you guys were edged out in the beginning. Like you were winning.
Yeah.
And he does it, and you guys are louder than the last time. To the part where you're like, it's deafening. You know, the crowd deafening.
like we're dragon hands.
Yeah. And then for him, you can tell it's noticeably lower this time.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, you have wounded me grievously, my adoring public. You have chosen another. I do not know how I can go on. However, I lost fair and square. And we have someone to entertain us for the rest of the evening. Gets you a round of applause. And he's going to clap. He's going to step down off the stage. And he's going to look back and she goes, "Whenever you'll finish this evening, let me know. I'll get you paid out.
And at which point,
I got to go help the ball. This place is crazy."
would I have noticed one of the songs he was playing prior to, like when he was warming up? What I'd like to do is kind of sit down and be like, "All right, we've had a lot of excitement today, but for right now, I believe we're gonna go ahead and slow it down just a little bit, and we'll dedicate this one to Mr. LeBeau." And I'll start playing like one of the songs that.
The one you remember that stands out, you ever heard that song, "Why Don't You Do Right"?
Yeah.
Very much like a swingy kind of jazzy version of that, where it was already sultry and swanky and had that jazz thing to it, but he added a little bit more energy to it.
And so with this one, I'll be just like, "And don't forget to go see our fine bartender over there for a nice drink tonight." Everybody catch their breath.
"On the rocks," and you see him like holding a glass and it frosts up in his hand.
And so yeah, we'll just kind of do like kind of a bring everybody down to settle down a little bit and relax encore kind of deal.
Yeah, so as I'm playing though, I look over at Ponzi and I'm like, we actually might make a name for ourselves here.
I told you, man, Dragon's Mouth is gonna be our big ticket today.
You guys play a few more songs. Once you get like the first stanza in through the do-ride song, one of the waitresses comes up and she grabs the mic and she starts doing the female vocals to the song.
Oh, very nice.
So, she'll pop back every once in a while when she's not taking care of tables, and there's another one that's gonna pop up.
Yeah, so
and they're all very much like the red tieflings.
Yeah, so they're kind of just rotating through. Like, now, do they normally do that? Like, do I get the feeling like this is kind of like what they normally
Everybody here is an entertainer.
do? Yeah. Okay.
Then I try to be charismatic. One of the tieflings. Yeah.
Oh,
Be a little charismatic.
trying to seduce the tiefling. All right, roll me a persuasion check.
All
Now, this doesn't mean like you roll a 20 or something crazy. You're gonna wake up
Yeah.
in the morning with a
right.
tiefling.
It's just
However, because there is no
charismatic.
technical role for seduction, I don't care what they say. However,
New meaning to roll to seduce
this
the
will be
dragon.
how well your riz is accepted by the individual.
Don't get us kicked out now.
Persuasion. So 21.
21. While she doesn't, here's the thing, she's not like rejecting you, but she'll do things like she'll pat you on the top of the head and say, "Oh, you're so cute," but like you're not sure where that's going.
Dang, that's what
And so yeah, as things kind of wind down, the crowd filters out. But just kind of go up to Mr. LeBeau and be like, "I think we may have a regular show here. How about you?"
I do believe this could be a beginning of a beautiful partnership. Everybody I have that works for me, they all get a take of what we bring in. Normally, I would just pay you a small part of that as being a guest performer. If you think you're gonna stay, you really mean it. Today, I might change that policy.
I think we have a future business coming up.
You have a place to stay this night.
We just arrived in, so not tonight.
I got some rooms above the lounge.
We greatly appreciate that.
Will
Let
the
you crash.
tieflings be joining us?
Oh no, they have their own establishment. They're only on loan from up the road, if you know what I mean. And he gestures in the direction of the red light
Yeah,
district.
I was gonna say, I think I know where he's sneaking off to.
That's not like a posse. I don't know what you're talking about.
I think we've been partners long enough. I have a good idea where to find you later.
He's like, and he gestures to that stairwell that you caught earlier, and it's still roped off. That's the place that common. The public does not go in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, this thing runs into the wee hours of the morning. It's like 3-4 o'clock in the morning. It's 5 o'clock by the time you realize what's going on, and you've all been drinking.
I was like, are we all
time,
drunk? I'm
and,
like, little drinking. Little drinking.
the Goliath locks up and escorts the tiefling women down the road. You see this is a routine.
Yeah.
And Mr. LeBeau shows you to your room.
Yeah.
He's like, I've only got the one guest room available at the moment, but I think it'll fit the two of you.
I was gonna say, that's a good thing that we're about half size.
I don't know what you're talking about. I was like on top of them.
And then, yeah, and then we just T-pose up the
Just
stairs.
spin into the room
like a top. Just
like a glitched out video game.
I got him on the shoulders, holding his feet as we just kind of spin inside of the
my
room.
goodness.
But yeah, you guys. When you get into the room, he leaves you alone. Let me give you a second to both of you make a perception check. This isn't something you're seeing now. It's just something to see if it stands out that you did see from the crowd.
11.
15.
15. You didn't see that gnome girl. You didn't see that drow kid. You did see the cat lady. She was in the back for the first couple hours. Then at some point you did, she does that.
Disappear
vanish
act,
thing.
yeah.
But she was there. She wasn't dancing. She was leaning up against one of the back walls, but she was there. She was checking out the act.
Now, was it the act she was watching or us, or would I have noticed that?
She was, roll an insight check.
I'd like to roll. 5.
It's hard to read.
Is 12.
12? Yeah, hard to read. But definitely took interest in what was going on stage.
Okay. My only concern with that was if she had noticed if I had copied her image.
Because you didn't do it on stage then, so...
No, this was she disappeared, and right as she disappeared, I had done the change of the buy, so my only
You didn't
suspicion
see
was,
any kind of, maliciousness in her
Okay, so yes,
her visage.
it was more entertainment than it was.
Right. The see how do I put this? The fact that that person was here and you had her referred to as she's one of the cartel leaders
Mhm.
makes you beg the question of what is she the leader of?
Yeah.
Okay. Um,
So there's a little bit of curiosity at the
yeah,
end of
you're
the day.
not sure about that. But
Make
you
a
did
little
see that she had that symbol on her
palm.
palm. She had the red hand with the circle on
Yeah.
the black armor. But so that might be a little something to investigate another time.
I was gonna say, yeah, I'm gonna make like a mental note after we meet up with Blue Industries to kind of ask around about someone that fits her description.
Yeah, it's just now starting. The sun's about to come up because it's been technically up, but the mountain ridge line stops the sun from coming in, except from right until it's like dead even with like the coastline, which
Yeah.
is like this small window. Um, at which point, like you hear like a bang and a thud or loud rustling from downstairs.
Now, does that sound like a threatening one, or is that kind of like
Didn't sound good.
okay?
It either like a table got knocked over or something. You're not sure what happened.
Like, Dakin, you awake?
I'm not.
But that didn't sound good. Let's try and sneak down there. So I'd like to kind of
You, you can
sneak
hear
peek
like
around the corner.
yeah, you can hear coming down the stairs the voice of coming up from down the stairs, the voice of Mr. LeBeau, and he's like, "I'm telling you, we're not open for business right now, man. We were up real late performing. It was a blockbuster occasion." Like, and you hear that modulated voice of,
I'm not interested in that. I want to talk to the two little ones. There's a kobold and a gnome.
At which point,
and he's like, "Oh man, I don't know anything about that." And he's like,
Don't lie to me.
at which point,
You can't lie to me.
seeing as he's kind of taken, is he? I feel like he's taken more of an aggressive stance to LeBeau, right?
mm-hmm.
Okay.
And you're able to peek through the curtain a little bit, and you see he's not like attacking him, but he's standing like towering over
Yeah.
Mr. LeBeau. And Mr. LeBeau is like 6 foot something, and you're like, oh, this is a big dude in this armor. He's almost like 7 foot tall.
You think we should sneak out? Or?
No. Let's not abandon Mr. LeBeau just yet. Wait here for just a second, because I want you to kind of be in the realm of the area to stay a little bit hidden.
Alright.
Because I have a way to kind of slip out if it does get bad. So I kind of want to wait and have you out of sight, but kind of keep an eye on what's going on.
Oh.
At which point, I am going to kind of walk out of the curtain and kind of play it off like I haven't heard what's going on. And this is the guy with the 12 on his mask.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
He
going
also
to,
knows the head of security.
yeah, I'm going to come out from behind the curtain without kind of revealing Dakin's there. And just acting like I don't notice him at first and be like, I'll look over. Ah, good sir. Are you ready to sell me that mech suit?
No. I'm here to talk to you about the security leak.
Excellent, excellent. Well,
Come with me.
and I'm gonna kind of do a quick glance, and signal for Dakin to come along.
As I
Since it-
I peek out of the curtain and I'm like,
You see like the mirrored reflection of you like nodding in his faceplate.
Uh, Mr. LeBeau, we will return to do some performances with you at a later time. And I do apologize if Mr. I didn't catch your name.
They call me 12.
Mr. 12 here, for
Just
any
12.
inconvenience. 12 here. Any inconvenience that we may have caused you with our presence. And so we're going to kind of turn and follow behind 12.
You hear from Mr. LeBeau's always like, man, they got real popular real fast in one day.
did we hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I go,
Told you, man. Names and lights.
Hey, Ponzi. He chucks you a coin purse, a little coin
Yeah.
sack. It's got 150 gold in it. That's your take.
And I look forward to making you and us more money in the future.
Good
As we
job,
kind
you
of-
two. I hope I see him again. And 12 like looks back at him slowly and goes,
That really depends on what they say when we get back to the facility.
Yep. And so he's going to turn around to Mr. LeBeau and be like, give a little bit of a wink and kind of follow out.
I feel like I'd like stutter and I'd like do a little like nervous like tick shake,
Mhm.
and I'd be like, what do you mean by that? We gotta like die?
he reaches into his like one of his side pouches and pulls out what look like little white bracelets. And he's like, hands one to you, hands one to you.
Put them on, or security won't let you in.
I believe he may have a point.
It's not handcuffs.
Yeah,
It's just a
just
wristband,
Yeah,
but
so
it's
I'd just
but it's
play
hard and
with
it doesn't like it's like big for you guys. When you put it on, it goes and it cinches
Things
tight,
is tight.
but it doesn't feel like it's cutting off circulation.
Yeah.
But then it starts to beep a blue light.
Is that why they call him Mr. Blue?
It's on brand.
And then at that point, I'm grabbing his dress. I
You
didn't know he
maybe-
was a comedian.
Yeah.
Would you be interested in joining our act?
I already have a job.
Oh, everybody's got a job.
This is a side hustle. I mean side gig. I mean side job.
This way, guys.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna kind of, just like the figure shows, he's gonna be kind of proudly marching
Just
along
march along. Yeah.
right behind him.
Okay. He's taking you straight to the main street and straight to that tunnel. Are you guys deviating with him anywhere? Or
Nope.
No, I would say the way that Ponzi's feeling, especially after the performance last night, and then this guy came to find him without directly being told where they were, other than the one security guard who was invited to see the show. Ponzi's kind of feeling like he's hitting it big, and he's pretty confident right now. So he's marching along behind him as if this is kind of like an escort, and he's a VIP person
Yeah, I think
marching along.
with Dakin, he or Dakin.
as you make your way through the entertainment district to get back in that on that curve, you can tell there's been like ice damage to some of the buildings and like to the street. Like, and you go, and you're able to go, White Dragon breath. Like something happened over last night while you guys were.
Looks like we
Looking
were
up.
not the only rowdy ones last night.
somebody was drinking.
Somebody made a very poor decision.
Yeah, drinking.
Yeah, let's hope it's not us.
He turns and he says,
No stealing.
Drinking
biggest,
and stealing.
biggest vice of people right there. I tell you what, it's
I'll tell you,
people like that make this place not an honest town.
But we're honest people. You know,
I mean, look at that face right there.
Honest.
he just like you actually hear like a chuckle from him, like that's the funniest shit he's ever heard.
But
damn.
Pozzy's gonna kind of feel like I did a pretty damn good job with cracking that ice block.
But yeah, you guys make your way up through the tunnel, take the side tunnel, all the way down, get to the entrance of Blue Industries, and the guards don't even stop you guys. The door just opens and just, like slides open, and
Now, would I kind of recognize that because of the wristband or because of 12?
the door opened for 12 before, so maybe it's 12, maybe it's the wristband, but you're probably leaning more towards 12 because the
Okay.
guards didn't even say anything to you guys.
Okay, yeah. So it's more towards that.
I'd tell 12. I'd be like, is Lancelot here?
Lance talks too much.
And that brings us to some of the reason why we are here.
When you step through the threshold, the smell of the city that you came from, it smells of a city. And there's only, you have to have been in a city to kind of understand it. There's like this undercurrent of filth that goes along with the above layer of like freshly baked goods and like the smell of like things being like that have been crafted, or like just like perfumes and just different like pleasant smells. and food related smells and things like that. But there's always that underlevel level of like you're on sewers and
Yeah.
stuff, and there's always like
City
that
smell.
that smell of piss and shit that's always like kind of in the background. That's like right back there. But when you step through this like doorway, you feel a tingle go over you. And like the pressure feels different in here, and the room smell like the chamber you step into is this white, like curved, like horseshoe shaped room with the opening of the horseshoe would be like the doors. That I should say bell shaped. That's more accurate. My bad. And that leads to one hallway that has like another like almost like an airlock style door on it. There is no reception desk. There is no anything like that. But there are turrets hanging from the ceiling with like multiple barreled firearm looking things
Yeah.
that are like aimed towards the entrance that are not like they're up like this and not
Yeah,
like
they're
pointed
not
at you
ready
guys
to
at the
fire.
moment.
Well, after walking into there and seeing the noticeable
And it
cleanliness,
smells. The only time you had anything similar to this was when you were in New Eberron, because they have pressurized chambers and halls and stuff like that. It's technologically advanced over there. But like this smells almost like a medical facility.
and after seeing like the cleanliness of that one, Fonzie kind of stops for a second, looks down at himself, and kind of does a circle with his finger to do prestidigitation to clean himself up a little bit. And he kind of straightens up his shirt and everything as he kind of walks in to give a little bit of a better presentation of himself.
I guess they can he'll like make a bow appear and he'll just put a little bow on and he'll be like
And he's gonna like side prestidigitation him too.
Uh,
As he's doing that, he's doing the bow fixing, and it's like,
oh thank you.
I gotcha. It's like I would normally, and he walks to the airlock, and as he does it, you see like it's not like a swing open. You see like parts of the door pop forward, some pop in, and like they'll like a puzzle open as you go into this hallway, and it's the sound of your steps echo, and you can see people with like masks and like clean suits and all kinds of stuff like moving around. Like, what the heck is it? And all of the lighting looks to be technological. None of it looks magic. None of it looks like it's fire. None of it looks like it's torches or lanterns. It all looks like it's technological. Um,
well, I do say you do have a fine establishment here. As Ponte's just kind of looking around as he's walking.
Mm. He spared no expense.
I see that. I believe we may have a liking to the way that your boss does business.
I don't normally bring people in like this, but I saw you, and then you came to my attention again. So
he gestures towards a room in the hallway that you guys are going down, and you step into what is blatantly an interrogation room. Step in.
Yep. And is there kind of like two seats or just one seat?
There are no seats.
Okay.
There's just a table with like looks like where or you could cuff somebody's hands in,
Yeah.
and like three places, but like all on one side of the table. With the back, like what you would be if you were cuffed in, there would be facing this mirrored wall.
Mm-hmm.
He goes,
you're not prisoners. You're subjects of interest at the moment.
Yeah. At which point, Fonzie's just gonna hands behind the back, like very thoughtful as he's just kind of walking around the room, kind of just looking, inspecting it. Still listening, but
If your answers do not satisfy, that will change quickly.
I believe we may have some answers and you may be interested in. So
Where did you get the card?
that is exactly why I wanted to get your attention. You'll be glad to notice that you do have as you saw, security breach. And I would like to inform you that we did come across that from a fellow down in your dock district.
hmm.
So I believe your employees are a little bit too loose with their security clearances.
Again, no, you can't
Yeah.
read him at all because of the mirrored faceplate. He slowly turns and looks at you, Dakin.
Do you have anything to add? into this?
Well, you will find my business partner here is one of those ones who does assist me in helping to locate certain things that assist people like you. I would also like to bring your attention to a small problem that you had at your doc's checkpoint as well. I believe that you do have let's call it a crack in your security system, in your clearance system, for people that are of our height.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, let's go with him.
He's like,
Do you mean the white guards checkpoints?
And forgive me. This is our second day in this city, so you'll have to be a little bit more specific with that.
Was there orcs there?
I do believe there were.
That's not my problem.
It was, however, a place where they should have found that your employee had lost their security system. So I do believe should you be under their, or should they be under your employment, you may want to do a check on your investment.
How did you acquire the card?
One of your employees was careless with it.
Dropped on the ground.
make a deception check.
I'll do it. 9.
He goes,
I see.
And at which point Ponzi's going to come up and say, he's not incorrect. See, the employee that this was taken from was careless in his placement, and it was loose as it fell on the ground as we were departing from our original job.
make me a deception check with disadvantage.
That was Los's at 8.
He goes,
I see.
he,
Was this the individual?
and the lights in the room go dark, and you can see lights in the other room on the other side of the mirror go
Yeah.
light, and you can see through it like it's glass now. It's just like tinted glass. There is a security guard who's got the individual you took the card from handcuffed with like manacles behind their back.
Mhm.
And it's like got the arm, one hand on the shoulder, and like the other hand's like on their back or something.
Mhm.
And you recognize it was a quick little bump
Yeah,
and grab,
but-
but like you recognize this as the person.
Yep, and without trying to be deceitful to him, I'd be like, I do believe that is the individual right there.
He looks towards the screen and says, "Do it." And you watch as the guard pulls his gun out, puts it to the back of the guy's head, and with a loud bang, it's just red over the mirror.
At which point, Fonzie's going to turn, kind of again, hands still behind his back, inquisitively be like, "What an effective device! Do you happen to have one that is for sale?"
No. They do have them available within the city, though.
I was going to say, would they have it available for someone interested in your employment?
The fact that you were able to acquire a security card from one of the individuals who works here at this corporation does not bode well for that individual. You have drawn the notice of Blue Industries.
And Ponzi's just going to turn back and be like, well, that is the price for failure and incompetence. And clearly he had both.
But us, on the other hand,
You'll find
are very
we
smart.
have neither.
Yeah, we could be a very help for you.
You've earned one thing at the very least. That is, you are free to go whenever you like. The second thing is, there is a object that I need recovered. You seem capable of finding things that get dropped. I said on the way here somebody stole something last night.
I believe we can be of assistance to you, and you will find that our services for Hansi and Dakin are highly confidential.
You also said you were interested in some sort of magical armor, or no tech, I don't know. Whatever that thing was I dragged in.
It was quite fascinating.
It was an interesting piece that you did have there.
If you are capable, you are successful, you would be on the path to be involved in a project that deals with them.
I, sir, do believe you have our services.
And then I'll run up to him and I'll be like, "We got a deal!" And I'll
First,
like put my little two
He'll,
hands.
he'll
up.
like let you shake his finger. And he's just like,
Don't quit your day jobs, but I need you to break into the Nine Lives Casino and recover something that was taken that was supposed to be delivered to us.
You did say 9 lives? I believe we would be very happy to help you.
Good.
I got 9 lives.
You're gonna need them.
All right. Whatever you say, Mr. 12.
Who may we find the details for this project that you have for us?
I'll have them brought to your room with Mr. LeBeau.
Excellent, excellent.
Go get some sleep.
And
Yeah.
so
You have work to do later.
Ponzi's just, again, feeling pretty confident that it was not him on the other end of that mirror. So he's, again, walking with his hands behind him, kind of strutting around.
That guard's waiting for you in the hall. He's got a little red speckled on part of him, but for the most part, it looks okay. He's like,
Please take them to the front and escort them to the entrance.
One moment. Prestidigitation him. You should be,
yeah,
yep, you should be looking your best, even with messy work. And he kind of just,
he looks at like what you did. And he goes, thanks.
yeah, but he's just,
Appreciate that. I'm good with this. And he like points at the gun, but he's like, I'm not a caster.
yeah. And like, no, with this nice establishment here, everybody should be looking their best.
You watch 12's like, again with the mirrored faceplate, he's like slowly panning between the three of you, and he's like, doesn't say anything. He goes,
We'll be in touch.
Yeah.
and he turns down the hall. His boots just.
And kind of just Dak and be like, not easy to get a read on that guy, is it?
But that gun was sweet, though. You see that blood splat?
I think we're gonna have to get ourselves one of those.
And he gets all excited. I'm like, excited.
Giving guns to little murder dragon rats.
You make your way back through town, back to the LeBeau Lounge. A groggy Mr. LeBeau lets you back in, lets you back into your rooms, and he goes, not expecting any trouble now, right? Most people that go into blue industries like that, they don't come out. In fact, you did. That bodes well.
So you'll find, as we said, with Ponzi and Dakin here, that we are honest. And he gives him a little wink off to the side. And we mean you no trouble, and we will make sure that any business that we have stays out of your establishment.
Well, that is all I require of your particular interest. I'm going to return to my bedroom, and I'm going to finish my sleep.
And we bid you a good sleep.
He heads back upstairs. You guys head to your room. Crash for the night, morning, day, whatever it happens to be at this point. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session. Good job, guys.